Welcome back to another vlog. There's this one secret which I would like to share today. And the secret is that when your body moves, when you are in active mode, you have so much of energy. I think it was Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi ji who said that work doesn't bring by itself lethargy, or you don't get tired because you work. You get tired when you don't work. When your body moves, you are active. It by itself it brings some kind of energy that you can do more. So why am I saying that now? Because I felt I experienced it right now. There are some things which I don't do. Like everybody knows that we all have some things which we find difficult, which we don't want to do, right? And it's just okay, because you have to know what you can do and what you cannot do. There's nothing wrong in that. So what I don't usually do is, I don't want to share it here, because most of my secrets, I can say it's secrets, or I'm just letting it out either by texting or by making videos, everything. So it's pretty easy to compete with me, because if you know what the other person is not good at, it becomes easy for you to create situations in a way that would want them to be doing more of the things which they find difficult to do. So you should not let out all your secrets, okay? So why am I having this kind of hairstyle today? Because there's acute water scarcity in this house, just in this house, not in any other houses. I don't know. So I just took it like God is trying to teach me something, probably, like how important it is to have your own ownership is very important when it in life, in the sense everything. If it's a car, you need to have some kind of ownership in that. If it's a house, you need to be the owner of the house. If you want to run the house the way that you like it, you must have a hold on the authority of running the house. God has been teaching me that now and then, over and again, and I've been just relaxed, in a relaxed mode, thinking things will just show up like that, it will shape up like that, and I would own a house someday so that I can run it like how I want it to be. It's very important that you learn it, that you must own, you must have some amount of authority in the places that you live in the organization that you run. It's very important, and everybody likes it. Just think for yourself how much you like it. If you don't have it, you're kind of compromising on it, and in those areas it's going to be very difficult. So here in this house, we have acute water scarcity from 1 week, and it's very difficult. You hardly ever get one bucket of water, or two to the most, that's it. So you have to manage with that. It's not like we don't know how to do it. We have done it many times in some other places as well. Like we know how to manage with the things that is available, knowing that it's just temporary. When it comes to permanent things in life, we don't want shortages. We don't like it. We have to stay with the things that we like. In the sense, we make compromises in life mostly based on these two factors. In the sense, is it long term, is it short term? Compromises are okay. Compromises on short term and things that have short life for a time being is just okay. But you don't want to compromise on things in the long term, like on things that are going to be permanently a part of your life. We don't want compromises. If you are compromising on a lot of things, in that aspect, it's going to be more than challenging for you. So I usually don't compromise on things when it comes to long-term aspects of life. Like I always evaluate things like how much can I compromise on this. Like, you have water shortage, so you get only 2 buckets of water, hardly ever, or you have to carry it from somewhere else. It's so many difficulties, because you don't have the authority to manage things, because it's not if it is your within your authority, you run it as you wish. You find solutions to problems based on your thinking. If it is not, and somebody else has the ownership, what happens is that they run it, they manage it according to their cognitive abilities, their thinking, their ideas, their perspective, and things are different. So that's the reason I've tied it like this. Today I didn't have a hair wash. It's okay, you can leave your hair without washing for 2 days, and it's just fine. And unless you have sweat a lot or things like that, it's okay. So tomorrow I do have to get a shampoo wash. For that I have a plan. I've thought about it. Actually, there's also happy news with that, in the sense today the bore well, a new bore well had been dug here, and you've got plenty of water in there. But then it takes a while, it seems, for the water to clear out, which is like 2 days. So after 2 days, it's going to be over. So what I'm trying to tell you is, whenever there is a problem, always decide, are you going to be a part of the solution, or are you going to stick with the problem creators? There are people who like problems a lot, because as I say, whenever there's a problem, it works as an advantage for one group of people. Whenever there's like you see vultures, when I stayed in Jammu, there were a lot of vultures there, and my mother used to say, look at those vultures, they are like, we find vultures among human beings also. So I said, what are you trying to say? She said, see, they're just waiting for people to die. Which means that when something dies, when something is rotten, it's manure for something else, they say. Because they decay, and they are good for somebody else. So it's the same thing applies to crisis and problems in life. There is a problem, it is of advantage for one or other person. It might be a problem for you, but it's not a problem for somebody else. You can find plenty of examples based on that. Why is it like that? But it is like that. So for you it is a problem, but for somebody else it's an advantage, and they always try to take advantage of it. So in life there is a group of people who stays with the problems. There is a group of people like me. I always try to find solutions to problems, and how easily you can find solutions to problem, because it saves time for everybody, for me, for you, for everybody, if you solve problems. And when you solve that, there are other things to consider, like how to solve it so that it is of help for more people probably, and so many things like that. Okay, stupid. Now what is that? Those are wasps. You have wasps here. I told us it's like a wildlife sanctuary here, but you don't have wild animals, but you do have plenty of these creatures which kind of hurt you in one or the other way. So I was just telling you, whenever there is a problem in life, consider yourself being a part of either the problem or a part of the solution. So check on that. Are you taking the side of the problem, or are you being a problem solver? Are you trying to find out solutions? Because when you think of solutions, you can come up with multiple solutions. Just one. There are a lot of solutions for one problem, let me tell you. It works that way. So since I have been like, my brain works like that. Anytime, anywhere there's a problem, if somebody asks me for help, that is, I help them. Okay, without asking, I don't basically go and try to help people. That is not there. It's not my habit. But if it is bothering me, obviously I start thinking of solutions. How can you come up with solutions quickly, so that it saves your time, it saves your efforts, and it saves your energy. We want solutions which can save all these three things. That's how I work. So you put me through problems. What my brain will be doing at that time is to find solutions, because it's not just one. You have many solutions for a problem. So it's very funny that still there are some problems in my life which is not at all solved, and that is because I don't have the authority in solving those problems. Like if I was solely the one person involved, it's very easy. Whenever there is two or more people connected with your problem, it becomes difficult for you to solve it alone, because your solutions probably is going to affect other people as well. So only in those situations I kind of back up, I delay it, thinking that it's going to somehow affect others as well. Is this nice? This hair stuff, it's really nice, huh? You don't feel hot also. It's good for summers. It's peak summer here. So I'll share the happy news in tomorrow or day after, telling you that there's plenty of water, because I saw it. I stood here watching those people work. They're hard-working people. They work hard. And so I was just standing and watching how it's done. I like being an outsider. I told this 1,000 times. Wherever you put me, I just observe people, how they do things, and try to get into their shoes for a while. I do that wherever I am. Try to, if not walk in their shoes, I do try to get into their shoes many times to see how it is to be them. What's their kind of, I'm watching a movie, very old movie now. I feel very, very bad, in the sense embarrassed telling you how old it is, because I've not watched any movies from 2014. Before that I used to watch a lot. My favorite movies are English movies. I like English movies more than Hindi movies, but just close to that is Hindi movies I hardly watch for any. But I like songs, and I like the actors, actresses. I appreciate their work, but I don't watch it. I don't have the patience to sit for a movie. Maybe it's just habitual that I'm not sat watching a movie for a very long time, so it becomes very difficult for me to sit somewhere and watch a movie which continuously for 2 hours, unless it is so good and so entertaining. It's kind of difficult for me. So English movies I usually prefer, because I love English, the language, and other than that, usually I also go with the story and dialogues. I like movies which has good dialogues. So and now I've been watching a movie which is very, very old, Good Will Hunting, and the movie has a lot of disturbing scenes and dialogues, and it's got a very bad language as well. There's so many things I don't like about that movie, but I have not quit. I've been watching it, because again, another bad habit which I have, I don't know if I can say it's a bad habit, but a habit which I have is, if the movie is not good, I would just watch it for 5 minutes and just close it. I don't want to watch it, because I feel it's a waste of my time having to go through all these things that I don't like. It's not life. See, in life, you don't have a remote control where you could just fast forward some parts just because you don't like that phase. I am not interested in living this phase. Let me just go to the next phase. It doesn't happen that way. So in life, whatever, it's like they say, a game of cards. You have been given some cards, you have to play with that. You can't say I'm going to take different cards, or and there is no skipping at all in life. So whatever life is given to you, the phases, many times you have no other options. Though they say that you're not a tree to be rooted somewhere, you can move around, be in places where you like. There are so many options and privileges we have. At the same time, there is something like you cannot skip some parts in life. You have to go through those phases, and that is something strange about life, unlike in movies. In movies, what I do is I just skip some parts, fast forward it, and go to the other parts, because I am just interested in some parts of the movies. Like this movie, Good Will Hunting, I really wanted to watch that movie to understand how people change and how people can be because of their circumstances, and it's a nice movie if you are focused on that part of it. There are so many things about that movie which is not good at all. Like I said, the language is very bad. It's not good. See, when you're exposed to bad language for a very long time, you tend to pick on that. It's very difficult to apply brakes and to know that what is good and what is not good, because see, you've been hearing a word apple continuously for a long time. You tend to use that word somewhere in your speech as well. And apple, you know what is apple, but forget about apple. But if you use a word like you know is a word, is two words which we keep using here and there as a connector in our everyday speech, right? So if you use that, if you tend to hear that word you know many times, you pick on that. Later when you start talking, you tend to use those words as well. So there's another word like I mean, or any seriously. Some people keep on saying those words seriously here and there, connecting their speech, the sentences. So what I'm saying is, in movies there are so many vulgar words and bad words which they keep using, and if you're exposed to these kind of movies for a very long time, you tend to pick on these words. Really, I'm telling you. So that's the reason I'm very particular about the language that the dialogue in the dialogues you use, and not waste your time like 2.5 hours watching a movie which has totally bad language. But this is an exception. This movie, I'm interested in watching it. I've almost watched it, just the last part is there, and I would like to finish it today so that I can save a new movie for tomorrow. So this movie is really good. Why? Because it's about a boy who is highly intelligent, exceptionally intelligent, and but he doesn't want to use your intelligence, his abilities and gifts. That's the thing. So many people try and know who he is, and they try to help him out. You know how difficult it is to find somebody who genuinely understands you and who really would like to help you to get to the level where you belong. That is, So these two professors, they keep trying to take him to the level where he must belong, but he refuses. He's like, why can't I be a plumber? Why can't I be a car washer? Why can't I work in a garage? Why can't I be a shepherd? All these, none of the jobs are, every job has its own dignity. Then why can't I do that? So I'm positive at that point where the boy really tries to stick with his own ideas of what he should be doing with his life, while they have recognized his abilities and his exceptional skills, and they want to take him to where he must belong. So let's see where it goes. Okay, so that's one part of the movie which is of my interest. So in spite of the movie having a lot of things that I don't like, I'm just watching it so I would just get to know where it takes us. Okay, so that's about it. That's for today. I'll be back tomorrow with something interesting. Meanwhile, this wasp is going to bite me. I've had the experience twice. I don't want to be bitten again, and I don't know, they sting you. So I'll be back tomorrow with something interesting. Take care. Take care of your health. Whoever is having problems with their health, let me leave you with another good message as well. So I was just telling you, what's the problem with this? Okay, now it is okay. I don't know, it's very slow. The synchrony is not there. What I'm talking, it's slow, and see, even my movement is slow and the speech is going fast, like my usual problem. Let's fix this first. Let's get this fixed. Okay now. Still there's some problem, but we can't help it. Okay, let's just do with this. So I was just telling you that in life, whenever things are not going right, even otherwise, always believe in God. It helps a lot. It strengthens you from your core, in the sense, from this part of you where everything just opens up. Everything, we believe that there is something special about this part of your body, in the sense, this point, as they call, and that's probably the reason when you pray to God, you usually place your hands at this position. I'm just giving you my knowledge, okay, in the sense, it's what I believe. It could be different. You could read it something different is there somewhere else, and you could just believe. Anything that I say, don't just take it like that's it. It's not like that. You have the right to share. I watch a lot of vlogs these days. I've got a good collection. I've subscribed to many people, many channels, and I try to watch it, and so that it's not just my views. You get exposed to different views. But the thing is that you must have some views, and you should be able to put it to words and express it and share it as well. That's what makes vlogs so different and so important and so relevant, I believe. Like I've told you many times, we go to a place, a tourist place spot. There are thousands of vlogs which come on the same theme. But what makes it different? What makes it different is that each person views things differently. The world that you see is not the same, even for siblings. I could see it differently, my brother could see it differently, and he could even describe it differently. So that makes it powerful, that I can describe it differently, you can describe it differently. And that is the power. So whenever I speak and make videos, it's not like this is it. You could be viewing it differently. I'm just telling you, this is what I'm thinking of today, and that's it. So I just want to tell you that all the problems in the world kind of changes when you pray, when you spend some time meditating, probably when you engage in one or the other activity that kind of strengthens your innermost part, from where everything just blossoms, whatever it be. Okay, so that's a note I'm leaving you with. So none of the problems are so big that God cannot solve it. And just below that level is you solve most of the problems. You have the solutions. If there is a problem and you know the solution to it, just make a note of it and leave it. Many times when you know the solution to a problem, even if the solution is not applied because of some other obstacles on the way, let me tell you, knowing your solution to that problem allows you to keep your head above that, above the water level. You are safe when you know that there is a solution to a problem and you have made a note of it, in spite of the fact that it is not being applied. That's it. That's a trick in life. All these tricks I learned through life, living and experiencing things and facing it. So I'm just sharing it with you. I hope it helps somebody out there. You never know. So keep sharing. If you have vlogs, if you have a channel, I would like to subscribe to most of the channels, and I make a note of the vlogs that I keep watching. There are many vlogs these days which I watch regularly, and because there's something interesting or something informative, something that you can learn, something you can think about. And sometimes some of the vlogs I watch is just to make me laugh a little, because laughing is good for your health. It improves your cognitive abilities. It helps you to change your mood, and there are so many good things about laughing, and that is something which we don't do. We rarely laugh. So whenever I feel like I need to laugh, I go around hunting for some of the vlogs and some of the programs that I could afford to through YouTube. And that's how life is. Take care.